It's my old friend. I've come to talk with you.
I was just leaving work and actually was headed home, and I pulled up at the stoplight and I saw a vehicle that was unoccupied with the door open. And so I was looking around for who may be driving that vehicle, and there was a man that had poked his head up over the bank, and he had a terrified look on his face, and I said, "Are you okay?" And he was like, "There's a kid down here." So I got my truck out of the road and jumped out and ran over to help. And when I got to the top of the bank to look down, it was about 10 or 12 feet. There was a young lady, like a college, probably in college. She was with a small boy down in there, and he was unconscious at the time, but he was breathing. And the man was calling 911, and so I talked to her for just a second to make sure that he was okay, checked for a pulse, and he was breathing. I saw his hall pass around his neck, and he had a...
Was he still laying there?
Yeah, he was still laying there. He wasn't moving. His eyes weren't open at the time. She said that that he had talked to her. She did a great job comforting him. So I asked if anyone had notified the school because of the hall pass, and I ran and found a teacher that was actually outside looking for him.
So you saw a hall pass on him?
On his neck. He was wearing like a hall pass. Had the school's name and his teacher's name on it. He had a little plastic guitar with him, so I kind of put everything together that he may or may not be special needs. I was able to locate a teacher and notify him of where the child was, which the teacher also came down, or the teacher's aide, whatever he is. And then we stayed there with him until the fire truck came, and then I blocked traffic for the fire truck to turn in.
And how many folks then helped you?
There were three.
Three of you?
Three, yeah.
What was going through your head as you see this little kid?
Anytime it's a kid, it's special, it's different. Being a police officer for years, I dealt with tragic accidents, but anytime there's a child, it's just so much worse, it's so much more critical. It's a totally different situation, especially I was afraid that he was hurt a lot worse than he was.
And so he never talked to you?
No, he never spoke to me. He didn't speak at all while I was there. Of course, I was there pretty quick. He hadn't been over the hill just a minute.
And you said you were able to notify the school. Did you walk over?
I ran to the school about the time the teacher's aide came out looking for him.
And did they say that like, oh, we're...
No, the teacher aide said that he was looking for him, that he had to use the bathroom. And I mean, he was pretty shook up. It was because at first I thought he'd been hit by a car and knocked over the bank. I didn't realize that he had walked and fell over the bank. And I'm not sure if that's what happened or not happened, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
Former police officer, good physical shape. I was trying to get down there to film, and it's steep. What was it like getting down?
Well, if that lady hadn't have seen him fall, then he may not have been found for a while, because you had to be right there to see him. It was a steep bank. It's a drop, I'm surprised that he wasn't injured worse than he was, especially landed on concrete at the bottom of that culvert.
You just hopped over into it.
Jumped down in there. Well, I jumped down in there with her to try and render aid if I could, make sure he was breathing and whatnot.
So many people, on social media haven't realized that, he was special needs. They've been saying, oh, a kid ditching school ends up in a ditch. It's very sad, and the kindness that you and strangers have shown him meant a lot to his family.
Well, I'm glad he's okay. I messaged his mother. She messaged me last night, and then I messaged back just to make sure he was okay. I was worried about him. But that's society. Everyone jumps to conclusions and want to place blame and point the finger, and sometimes they don't know the whole situation. I didn't know the whole situation. The only reason that I thought he may be special needs was due to him having like a little plastic toy guitar with him that he had dropped and broke when he fell.
What department did you work for?
I worked for the Lawrenceburg Police Department.
Lawrenceburg
Police Department.
It's funny because Tyler's really loved by Lexington Police.
Yeah, I heard they did a birthday thing for him and took him to school and everything. That's awesome.
So
that's
it
awesome.
Seems like that's who comes to his side often.
Well, it's just training. I had the same training they had, and you forget where you are, what you do when something happens. So I didn't even think about it. I just went and helped.
because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone, neath the halo of a street lamp. I turned my collar to the cold and damp, when my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light that split the night and touched the sound of silence. And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking, people hearing without listening, people writing songs and voices never shared, and no one dared disturb the sound of silence. Fool said I, you do not know. Silence like a cancer grows. Hear my words that I might teach you. Take my arms that I might reach you. But my words, like silent raindrops, fell and echoed in the wells of silence. And the people bowed and prayed to the neon god they made. And the sign flashed out its warning, and the words that it was forming. And the sign said the words of the prophets are written on the subway walls, in tenement halls, and whispered in the sound of silence.
Well, I won't back down. No, I won't back down. You can stand me up at the gates of hell, but I won't back down. No, I'll stand my ground. Won't be turned around. And I'll keep this world from dragging me down. Gonna stand my ground, and I won't back down. Hey, baby, there ain't no easy way out. Hey, I will stand my ground, and I won't back down. Well, I know what's right. I got just one life in a world that keeps on pushing me